This is for Welpe Bamgarden, my friend, also from Facebook. My friend, he's from Germany. He says it's a comment he wrote. The situation in Germany is this: you have the government, which is of course pro-Israel, but against the hard attacks in Gaza. You have the zombie people who don't care at all. Then you have really a lot anti-Israel groups. It is always a good thing to be against murder and war, but how come that so many people hate Jews as a whole group? How can you hate a country or a whole nation? I never understood that. To hear this coming from Germany, my friend, our people's history in Germany, this gives me such satisfaction and enjoyment, you can't imagine. However, I just want to say, if you really were to examine history, you would have to say that over the last 60 years, there hasn't been one government on the face of this planet that has supported Israel in any way. And the reason I say that is when governments support each other, they become allies, and they fight the same wars. Israel, from the day it was conceived, was attacked by the other state that was supposed to be. There was supposed to be a two-state solution right away, the Arabs and the Jewish state. The Arabs, instead of making a state, forming a state, they just attacked the Jews and tried to kill them and wipe them off the map. It didn't work. They've been attacking ever since. Not once has the UN, has any other foreign country sent troops to deal with people like murderers, terrorists like Yasser Arafat, who swore he was going to kill all of Israel, and to deal with Hezbollah, and to deal with all these groups, now Hamas, these murderous villains that just want death and destruction. Not once has China sent troops, not once has Japan, not once has Germany, not once has France, not once has anyone in South America, North America, no one. And don't get me, and please don't pitch in and say, oh, what about the war in Iraq in '91, the Gulf War? That wasn't about Israel. That was about the older President Bush deciding he wants to control the price of oil. I don't know exactly a power stunt. I don't know what he was doing it. I don't know if he was friends with his son was friends with Cheney. Cheney was on Halliburton. I don't know. I don't care. It wasn't about Israel at all. It was about Saddam going into Kuwait and annexing it, in effect. So not one government that I can see in the last 60 years of this baby nation has ever supported Israel. Nor do they. Instead, what do? They give Yasser Arafat the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, this is what they do. They force the leaders of Israel, the secular leaders, to go on the White House lawn and shake hands with the people who want to kill them. Okay, they give Jimmy Carter the Nobel Peace Prize, one of the greatest haters of Israel of all time. This is the nation's relation to Israel. And this ties into your second question: why is it that people hate Jews as a whole, as a group? This is called anti-Semitism in America, although it's a misnomer. Semitic people are Jews and Arabs. Anti-Semitism would actually mean, if you broke down the word etymologically, that you hate Jews and Arabs, people from Semitic backgrounds. Arabic is a Semitic language, Hebrew is a Semitic language, but not to say that, but in America it's called anti-Semitism. It means hatred of the Jew, baseless hatred of the Jew, senseless and baseless. Where does it stem from? The Torah itself. God himself says in the Torah, my son, my firstborn Israel. He's favored his nation, Israel, and since then, all the nations hate the Jews. Then we see this in many stories in the Torah with Joseph and his brothers. Jacob, Joseph's father, favors him, and all the brothers hate him. It's a natural consequence of being the favored son. So that's why it happens. The point at this point, the Jews, I don't like Jews who kvetch and kvel, who complain about all this anti-Semitism. Everything has a purpose. The purpose of anti-Semitism is for us to refine ourselves and to take the Torah's dictates more seriously, to be a light unto nations, and to positively affect as many people as we can, being a Kiddush Hashem, it's called, a sanctification of God's name. When someone sees a Jew, they should be seeing a God-fearing individual who is an attractive person, a good person, someone who's positive, someone who's moral, someone who's honest, someone who's just. And if this were the case, anti-Semitism wouldn't disappear, because it's ingrained, apparently, according to the Rashbi, who says, Halach al-Olam, it's an eternal decree that Esav, Edom, that nation will hate Israel. Okay, we'll hate Yaakov, but it would go down, it would subside anti-Semitism in such a case if all the Jews were listening to the Torah and following God's will, and things will get better. The problem became, after the Holocaust, and this is just recent history, the thing that I've seen with my own eyes, is this mentality from the previous generation that after what happened to us in the Holocaust, how can we fear God and why should we fear God? Anyway, the non-Jews want to kill us. Let's just get out of here, let's try to be as non-Jewish as possible, and let's be like the rest of the nations of the world. This will never succeed. And it's just a matter of time till my nation, the Jewish people, wake up and realize that. And we'll go from 20% being Shomer Shabbos to 100%. And then Mashiach will come, and we'll merit the third temple, world peace and abundance, etc., etc. It's dependent on the Jews and the non-Jews alike. Thank you so much, and have a good Shabbos.